Dr. Jorn Dyerberg is an expert in the field of nutrition and a pioneer in the research of omega-3s. Dr. Dyerberg, could you tell us how omega-3s, how do they affect coronary health?
That's a big question.
Big question.
Because
okay.
over the years we have actually found out that there are new things every second year coming up.
Wow.
So it's not one effect on coronary risk. It's a multitude of effects. Let's start with the lipids. If you increase the long-chain omega-3s, you improve your blood lipids in a way that the risk of coronaries decreases. The effect is that you increase your good cholesterol a bit. It's not much, but you increase your good cholesterol a bit. But then you lower your triglycerides.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. And triglycerides, that's another family of fats, and actually it's most of the fat we eat is triglycerides. Mm-hmm. But it has come up over the years. We have always been accustomed to look only at cholesterol. But over the years, it has come up that blood triglycerides are a huge risk factor for coronaries as well. Actually, there were two major studies published in the well-known American Medical Journal, JAMA, J-A-M-A, Journal of American Medical Association, showing that the non-fasting triglyceride level, we've always measured triglyceride in a fasting state after an overnight fast, but most Americans and most Danes are not fasting. We are non-fasting all the time. So our coronaries are bathed in non-fasting blood all the time, and only in the early morning we are in a fasting state. And they found out if they measured non-fasting triglycerides, I mean in normal conditions, and took that value and related that to the risk of coronaries, there was a huge positive association. The higher your non-fasting triglycerides, the higher the risk of coronaries. And it is so that omega-3, EPA and DHA intake lowers fasting and non-fasting triglycerides substantially. So this is one of the effects of omega-3s of coronaries. But there have been several others coming up over the years. When you get a coronary, it's a plaque, an accumulation of fat, cholesterol in your coronaries that burst a bit, cracks a bit, and on that top of that, a blood clot is formed.
Yes.
And the stability of the plaque also is a risk factor. And it has been shown that by increasing omega-3s, the stability of a plaque in your coronaries, if you have one or I have one, increases due to a lowering of the inflammation in the reaction.
That's what I was going to ask you about. It affects inflammation.
Inflammation, yes. It lowers the inflammatory response of your cells in the body, and thereby stabilizes the plaques. But aside from that, there are other effects. One of the major studies in fish oil and coronaries is a large Italian study called the GISSI, G-I-S-S-I study, including more than 11,000 patients who had a coronary, and giving them either fish oil or nothing, the two groups. And they found out that the group that, and then they had an observation period of more than 3 years. So it's really a major study.
Very.
And they found out that the survival, overall survival in the fish oil group was 20% better than in the non-fish oil group. And especially the rate of sudden cardiac death, falling dead down, was nearly halved, reduced by 45% in the fish oil group. And that is due to an effect of what causes sudden death, which is a fibrillation of your heart. The heart pumps. But suddenly, due to electrical and a lot of things, the pumping can be irregular, and the heart just sits there fibrillating. And the only thing you can do is to do heart massage and then get something to put an electrical current on it, this resuscitation, and then you can hopefully bring the heart back to normal beating, but many people dies from that. So a lot of experiments have been performed since that, and it seems as the building in of EPA and DHA in the heart cells make them more resistant to atrial or myocardial fibrillation, and thereby reduce the risk of sudden cardiac death.
Well,
so
those
that's
things
another fascinating, and new ones will come up over the next years, I can guarantee you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Dyerberg.
Thank you.